9th, 2024. We'll call that to order. We'll all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Mr. Robert Lawson tonight, followed by a short invocation.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Father God, right now, we just want to pause and thank you for allowing us to come here to the village of Woodlawn once again to do the business here of the village. We ask that you purge our hearts and minds, that we make the right decisions for the betterment of this village. Lord, we ask that you watch over each household that is represented in this village, and we ask that you have a peaceful night inside of their homes. And these blessings we ask in thy Son Jesus' name and for his sake. Amen.
Amen.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Poole?
Present.
Esther Boyd? Present. Rosemary Brown? Present. Cindy Chandler? Is it absent today? We'll need a motion to...
I need a motion to excuse Ms. Chandler from tonight's meeting.
I'll make a motion to excuse Ms. Chandler from tonight's meeting.
I'll second.
Motion been moved and properly second. All ayes?
Aye.
Very well.
She didn't call my name. Pamela Fitzgerald? Present.
Oh.
Robert Lawson?
Present.
Michelle Starr?
Present.
We apologize for that, friend. I guess I'm just on the highway, aren't I? All right. Reading and disposal of previous minutes, regular council minutes from September 24, 2024. Any corrections, deletions, or additions to those minutes in front of us?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the September 24th council meeting with any necessary corrections.
I'll second it.
The motion been moved and properly second. All ayes?
Aye.
Very well. Special council meeting from September the 30th, 2024. Are there any corrections, deletions, or additions to the minutes in front of us? If there are no questions, I need a motion for approving the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from September 30th, 2024, for the special council meeting.
Oh, I'll second it.
The motion been moved and properly second. All ayes? Very well. I need a motion to approve the special council meeting from October the 8th, 2024.
I'll make that motion to approve the special council meetings for October 8th, 2024.
I'll second it.
Motion been moved and properly second. All ayes?
Aye.
Very well. And I need a motion to approve the minutes from the special council meeting on October the 23rd, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the special council meeting minutes from October 23rd, 2024.
I'll second.
Motion been moved and properly second. All ayes?
Aye.
Very well. All right. Chief, we have some appointments. We have an appointment tonight, but Chief, I'm going to turn that floor to you for the camera's sake.
Do we approve the agenda?
Good evening, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kevin Williams, Chief of the beautiful village of Woodlawn. And I'm very excited, almost giddy this evening, to introduce two new additions, not just to our police department, but to our Woodlawn family.
All right.
First young man I'd like to introduce came to us as a young entrepreneur who decided he wanted to pursue a career in law enforcement. So I feel privileged that he chose us to kind of dip his toe in the water a little bit and, try out his new chosen career path. We've decided to try to take a new path with this young man. We've never tried a recruit. So he is going to be what we call a recruit. So we were so impressed by this young man that he came to us. He said, I still have to go through the police academy, but I do know for a fact that your department is where I want to be. So with that, we came up with an agreement with him, and we wanted to be his sponsoring agency as he goes through the police academy. So again, we're very, very excited to have him, very impressed with him. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and introduce Mr. Benjamin Baker.
right.
Hi guys, my name is Ben. I came here because I'm excited to become a member of this Woodlawn community. Working here. I wrote it going on. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm excited.
Take your time, take your time.
I went out on some ride-alongs with these officers. I really fell in love with what they do for the community here. It's something that I'm passionate about, and I'm excited to have my foot in the door here and be able to be a member of this community and
There you go.
serve this community and do my best.
Okay.
Chief failed to mention that Ben, once he is completed with his schooling, we are eagerly waiting for that to happen, and we look to see you on our streets out there mid-year. Is that fair to say? June, July of 2025. So in the midst of that, make good grades. And again, welcome. We are excited that you've chosen this village to do that career.
All right. Moving on, keeping the morale up here. Second gentleman, this is the story of going full circle. So, second gentleman that I want to introduce, I actually met him as a friend of one of our current officers. So, at that time, kind of expressed interest, one of those, fill it out a little bit, let us know that he was going to attend the police academy and everything. Unfortunately, at that time, we didn't really have a need, but it just goes to show how things go full circle, because now he's coming to us as a lateral officer from Addison. So, very, very, very excited to have this gentleman as well. Without further ado, Mr. Jamal Brown.
We have the opportunity tonight to officially swear you in as an officer here in the village of Woodlawn. It's a great honor, along with council, to be part of our team here in the village of Woodlawn. We love using the term team. There's no I in team. It's all about all of us together. So with that being stated, Mr. Jamal, please feel kindly to raise that right hand for you and repeat after me. I state your name, please.
I, Jamal Brown,
On my honor.
on my honor,
I will never betray my badge,
I will never betray my badge,
my integrity,
my integrity,
my character,
my character,
or the public trust.
or the public's trust.
I will always
I will always
have the courage
have the courage
to hold myself and others
to hold myself and others
accountable for our actions.
accountable for our actions.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Ohio,
the Constitution and the laws of the state of Ohio,
and the Village of Woodlawn Charter,
and the Village of Woodlawn Charter,
bylaws,
bylaws,
ordinances,
ordinances,
and resolutions.
and resolutions.
As a police officer,
As a police officer,
without favor or affection,
without favor or affection,
malice or ill will,
malice or ill will,
until I am rightfully discharged.
until I am rightfully discharged.
So help me God.
So help me God.
As the mayor of the village of Woodlawn, I do appoint you as the police officer here in the great village of Woodlawn.
Handshake.
Congratulations, Mr. Benjamin. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team.
Lead the babies.
said pick one. Pick one.
Okay.
All of them, all of them.
Be the kids.
Take his time, take his time. No worries.
Oh, you out there. Okay, you right.
They don't trick or treat over there.
Now trick or treat over here.
We don't have a lot.
All right. All right. Committee and commission reports. Ms. Rosemary, Recreation Committee?
Yes. The meeting
Yes.
that happened on October the 7th at 6:30 PM. It's a fairly short meeting. Present myself, Esther Boyd, Robert Lawson. Also present was Pamela Fitzgerald, Cindy Chandler, Michelle Starr, and Paula Sherman. We got a brief rundown of all the things that was going on through the month of October. There were quite a few things that went on through the month of October. We had seniors that made T-shirts, family movie night, Mount Zion Senior Lunch and Learn, basketball registration began on the 18th of October. And so it was just an array of things that went on. The last thing we had was the trunk or treat, was just the other night, Sunday.
Saturday.
Was it
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. And it was very, very successful. We had a house full of kids, and a lot of parents came out to trick or treat trunk for them from their trunks. Also, some things, new programs that we have going on down at the rec is diabetes prevention. That's Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. There's a double Dutch program, Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursday. There's a Queens Village Wellness Program, which is held on, well, the next one is going to be November the 21st. And also there was a firefighters workshop that happened on the 10th of October. We're going to have a Thanksgiving giveaway. That's going to be November the 23rd. And the dinner, there's also going to be a dinner with the fellas that happens the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And the one thing I think that we're most excited about is that we did finally hire 2 people down in our recreation department. And my understanding, they're going to be coming on mid-November. So we're excited about that, and we're going to be getting some help down in the fall. We talked about uniforms for our sports programs. We're going to have to look into our fees so that we can make sure that we're including that so that we can get uniforms for our sports teams. And that's about it.
Meeting. Any questions for Ms. Brown and Recreation? All right. Having none, Committee of the Whole, October the 8th. Who chaired that? I believe Ms. Chandler chaired that night. Some items that were on there, fire department, talked about some grants, State of Ohio reimbursement for some training. They are working with some neighboring departments on the Commons Department fire. So we all know that took place about a month ago, about a month ago. And so they are working on that process up there. Interviews with Scarlet Oaks Fire seniors, there are about 4 or 5 in the process of being hired as volunteers. So we're excited about that. The Welcome Home veterans at Maple Knoll and also made a contact for transport services. So currently in the fire department, we have a transport services. These are non-medical transport services. So if there is seniors in our community, anybody in the community that has that transportation services need, please reach out to our fire department, and they can give you additional information on that. Ladder 96, I know that there has been some preventative maintenance to keep that going, and so we're just gonna keep our fingers crossed until we get delivered our new apparatus. In the transport services in August, the charge out was $24,810, and in September, the charge out was $16,663. We did have one injured firefighter, I believe, from the Commons fire that happened up at the Commons, but is he doing good? Yes. Better, much better?
Yes, sir, he's back to work.
Good job, good job. And then we also had one of our firefighters that suffered a heart attack. How's that going?
He's back to work.
All right, good stuff. Good praying, all right. Out of our Public Works Department, she gave us a list of the activities that the department has been working on. They have trimmed about 32 areas throughout this village. They are continuing to remove any debris. They have done some cleaning of the pole barn, preparing for the stormwater health inspection. They have been doing some filling of potholes, just kind of shutting down the pool, getting the awnings removed and stored away for the winter. And I know recently here, the department went up through the subdivisions and actually did some weeding along the curbs, which makes it so much nicer look. So we appreciate that, Director Banks, for that as well. The question has been questioned to our director, are we quite ready for the winter? Honestly, she gave us an honest answer and said no, but by the end of October, she believes that that will be ready to go. And I have been noticing the trucks out there, the equipment has been installed on some of those trucks, so excited about that as well. The Parks and Recreation, the gist of that came out of Ms. Brown's report, and out the police department, Charlotte Ponder, who is the clerk of Mayor's Court, she completed some training in Columbus for the Mayor's Clerk training. Lieutenant Lawson and Sergeant Josh Kelly completed a week-long training for the FBI NAA in Columbus. And that again helps us guide our agency into the 2025. Sergeant Hilling and Officer Sampson completed a safety drill with the IDEA school officials and the students, and that will be scheduled at Woodlawn Elementary here in a future date. The School Zone 4 IDEA school is complete. The lights are up there, flashing lights up there as well, and so I'm glad to see that as well. Again, tonight we had 2 qualified applicants, one of which was sworn in. Again, Ben will complete his training, and then he will come back to be sworn in, I'm gonna say July, just to be, kind of give it some time there. But we're looking forward to that as well. Sergeant Hilling and Officer, I mess it up every time. I call him Officer G because I cannot get that name. Gumino?
Guamina.
I mess it up every time. But they did a wonderful job during the large storm that we had on September the 27th. There were a lot of calls that came in, auto accidents because of that storm. So kudos to those officers for taking care of that. Chief Williams is back. He was at the new chief's training. And Lieutenant Lawson is retiring October the 26th. Correct, though?
Yep. So
But
yep.
he's coming back.
So retired, rehired, yes, sir.
Got it, okay. I know he was retired and rehired, so we're excited about that. Ms. Sarr did question about what is the best practices with the elderlies during the catastrophic event. As we always do in police and fire, we do wellness checks very frequently to those elderly, so they have been identified. If anyone knows any other elderly senior saints out there in the village, or someone who just needs that wellness check, please reach out to the police department or the fire department. Those two departments, in conjunction together, they always make it happen. So continue to do that as well. Ms. Fitzgerald did question about the generator, and Tim is compiling some information to provide to us in next month's CAL, so we can further discuss that as well. The Juneteenth 2025 MOU has been completed, and so that group is off to do what they are doing in terms of raising funds for the Juneteenth 2025. We know that Lee Crest and Redna Terrace and Chester Road are in the process of being completed. I did drive through there today. I kind of stopped, couldn't go so far, as far as I could, but I see that work is continuing. So I'm hoping that it should be completed by
Well, we were
couple
hoping
weeks.
by the end of this month, but that's
Yeah.
gonna be a bit of a push.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we're hoping within the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
They've got a whole army out there tearing it up.
Yep.
A very large chunk of Redna has already been removed. They're planning on starting asphalt work tomorrow. That's their hope.
Okay.
But yeah, it's moving along quite quickly.
Perfect day for asphalt tomorrow.
Yep.
80 degrees almost tomorrow. Good stuff. So excited about that. Again, Woodstock and Ronnie Road, Seating Consultants, they did come in and discuss some additional options related to the drainage ditches earlier in September. And so again, that's ongoing, where the manager is looking at what's the best option for those residents, and he will follow up with council as well. And in your packet, you just see some pictures of that area up in the forest area as well. CT Consultants is going to continue to review the blueprints for the Springfield Pike Grenager improvements. And again, we are planning to build that project out before the end of the year, with construction to begin spring of next year. The Regional Safety Complex progress, thanks to all of us, our residents, our staff that came down to the groundbreaking of that project, and that is slated to close spring of '26. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Spring of '26. So after spring of 2026, we should not hear any more gunshots being fired over in that area after almost 80 years of existence over there. So for us that have grown up and don't know no better than Woodlawn, we had to endure that our entire lives. So that was a great event. I seen so much energy out there last week, so I think that the goal is to get it closed down as quickly as possible. But again, it is slated for spring of 2026 for that move to happen. And that new facility is out in the Coleraine Township area. Neighborhood allies continue to be in the village. I know the 11th of October was the last time that they're in, and so I know that they pretty much schedule that throughout the months to come, and so we're excited about that because I think it's a great tool for our residents. Also, we currently are averaging 2.3 transports a day in terms of, is that transporting for our medical?
It's the
under
non-emergency services.
Non-emergency, right? Okay. And our goal is to be between 4 and 5 a day. And again, we see the growth, and again, I think over time, it's just gonna grow to, it's just gonna overfill the cup. So we're excited about that. Again, the team has billed over $40,000 related to that service this year over the past 2 months. So with that being said, if we just look at that $40,000, and as we grow that program, what that number should look like when we have a 12-month inside of there. So excited about that. Continue to do the good work down there as well. The levy, the fire levy, there is a fire levy, which is a renewal for the November ballot. So you will see that on your November ballot. next week, if you have not already early voted, but there is a renewal for the fire levy, as well as a renewal for,
It's the voting for the changes to the charter.
thank you, and charter, thank you, Ms. Rosemary, I'm looking at you like it's something else, but the charter, and again, that comes out every 4 years, and so that will be before us as well with any changes that commission recommended. Glendale Milford Road, I believe that sinkhole has been repaired. I'm so excited about that. I don't have to be in one lane in the morning, so excited about that. And so when those happen, we want to make sure that we are getting the gist of what is in that sinkhole. Sometimes we just can't see the water that is creating that sinkhole. So for development, hats off to them, a wonderful partner with them, so they came out and took care of that. And that was the gist of our meeting. Any questions about Cal? Having no questions for Cal. Planning Commission, Ms. Rosemary.
Sure. Planning Commission met on October the 16th at 11 a.m. Present was the members, Mayor Poole, myself, Evelyn Jackson, Robert Johnson. And also present was Tim Engel, Fred Smith, and code enforcers Fred Smith and Leroy Williams. The agenda, initiating zone text amendments to the Woodlawn zoning code pertaining to short-term rentals, mobile food vendors, and the keeping of chickens. And it may sound funny, but we've had an issue with some people's livestock, I guess, getting out. So we had to come up with something that we could, our code enforcers could work with. Also, there was a draft of the resolution that was provided to the commission members. There was a short discussion regarding the language with the bed and breakfast being short-term rental. It was determined to strike bed and breakfast establishments from Section 1 and Section 2. There was also a discussion regarding the grandfathering of signs and that we need to stop allowing the old signs when new businesses move in and have them follow the code. There were a couple of strikeouts, and again, bringing the code up to date. Let's see. Mr. Smith stated that we need a proper food truck permit that the village will need to create. The new charge will be established effective January 1, 2025. So before that goes into effect, it will be announced. And that was about it.
All right. Any questions for Ms. Brown and Planning? Having none, Finance, Ms. Fitzgerald, please.
Yes. The Finance Committee meeting took place on October 21st at 7 p.m. Members present was Cindy Chandler, myself, Michelle Starr, Lauren Crisp, Charles Willis, Ashley Madden, Mayor Poole, Rosemary Brown, Esther Boyd. I will just give you just a short update of the income tax. For the village collected for September, $811,145 in taxes. And it was distributed by fund. The general fund, $646,095. The road tax, $105,802. The debt, $38,088. And the capital projects, $21,160, which is a total of the $811,145 that was collected. Since its inception of 2019, we have collected $5,111,461. We've dispersed $3,373,258. And our fund balance year-to-date is $1,738,202 in the fund. And I'm going to turn the rest of the finance update to Lauren Crisp.
Okay. Very well. Any questions for Ms. Fitzgerald and Finance on what you reported? Having none, municipal managers report.
Sure. Juneteenth 2025, the village did sign the agreement with Call to Play to host that event, or to take care of that event. The agreement stipulates that there is to be a meeting with council on or before January 14th of 2025 to discuss the event further, so we'll make sure that we get that together and planned. As Mayor noted, Redna Terrace, work has begun on that. And they will also work on Chester Road as part of that project. We're hoping that will be completed soon. Brush and leaf pickup. The Public Works team did start brush and leaf pickup in October. Currently, the team is renting a chipper while we wait for the new chipper to arrive. There have been some frustrating days related to brush pickup, as some of the rented chippers have malfunctioned, but otherwise the service is being provided with few issues. We've discussed Ronnie and Woodstock Road. We're looking at having a meeting during the week of November the 18th to discuss Ronnie and Woodstock. We'd like to go ahead and put some information out to the residents so that they can kind of weigh in on what they would like to see on the road. They can attend the meeting, weigh in on that, and then we can go ahead and move forward with the plans. Hamilton County Revitalization Grant. If you'll recall, we bought 2 properties on Springfield Pike at 10171 and 10175. Those houses are slated to be demolished. We're in the final stages of preparing the property for demolition, and our expectation is that the houses will come down before the middle of November. If you're up on Springfield Pike, and it's just an absolutely beautiful piece of equipment there to tear those down.
Yeah, yes it is. Yeah, I want to put some flowers on it.
Yep. Have Robin dress that up. Mayor noted that there was the groundbreaking at the Regional Safety Complex. Woodlawn Council and staff did attend that event, as well as our department heads, along with representatives from our neighboring communities of Lincoln Heights and Evendale. Also present were the Hamilton County Commissioners, both the City of Cincinnati Police Department and the County Sheriff's Department, representative from Senator Sherrod Brown's office, representative from Cindy Abrams' office, and Cindy Abrams, Senator Catherine Ingram, as well as several other state and local representatives to celebrate this monumental project. So we're all very happy that that is moving along. Tri-State Trails continues to do their trail study and make plans to connect all the trails. Neighborhood Allies, as Mayor mentioned, was here in October. They will come back on November the 8th. They'll be at the Recreations Department. We kind of discussed all the different things going on in the fire department during the committee of the whole reading. The Buildings and Other Issues, CT Consultants has started a building evaluation for the village where they are going to every department, discussing their needs, what they have, what they think they would like to have. All of that information and the evaluation was gathered actually this week. So they are going to put their final report together for us to review. Board Development, as we noted, did complete the work on the sinkhole. There's been no real conclusion into how the sinkhole occurred, but we'll continue to watch the area. And those are all of the major updates for the village right now.
Good job.
Is there any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. You mentioned the brush and the chipper, and that there was an issue with that as far as being able to pick up the brush. But you didn't say anything about leaf pickup. And I want to know, is the same equipment used for leaf pickup, and are the leaves going to be picked up this time?
The leaves are being picked up.
Okay, it has started.
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's all I needed to know. I haven't seen anything as of yet.
Okay. I'll talk to Vicki, but yeah, they've started that program.
Excellent.
Yep. You should have received a flyer in the mail as well.
No,
with dates.
didn't get a flyer, and also I wanted to know about our newsletter, because our newsletter didn't come out for the fall either.
Okay.
Okay.
There might be a delay there.
It's not due
Yeah.
out.
The truck that we collect the leaves on, we have the box on the truck, and the truck is now in the shop. So we haven't been picking them up out of the gutter areas, but we do go, today, we went around, any leaves that were bagged up, we collected. We do it every other week, I think until November the 8th. I'm not sure the date, I don't have it right here.
That's the bagged up leaves,
Yes,
but you're
but
not
the
going
leaves-
to have the,
We don't have the vacuum work operated, we don't have all the equipment right now because the truck that we put the leaves in is in the shop, and it has the leaf box on it.
Tim,
Yes, sir. I think that was all we had.
that's all you had?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, I'm sorry.
Yep.
All right. Any questions for Tim and his report? All right, having none. Finance Director's report.
Excuse me. We'll start, good evening. We'll start on
Good evening.
second page of the Finance Committee minutes. Right after the income tax information, reported in October that as of September 30th, we were 75% through the year. The village had collected 67% of the budgeted revenues for all funds, and they had collected 78% of the budgeted general fund receipts. It expended, the village has expended 52% of appropriations for all funds and expended 67% of general fund budgeted expenditures. So revenues were ahead and expenditures were lower than budgeted. That's good. Receipts and disbursements report reported that for the month of September, the village collected 1.28 million and dispersed 1,028,861. Fund balance report, we reported on, included a balance of each of the funds in the committee report. Bank reconciliation is actually included, the receipts and disbursements and the bank reconciliation report are included in your packet for approval this evening. Overtime report, included in the report was a report that showed the village spent $31,722 in overtime for September. The police and fire department accounting for 50% and 35% of the overtime charges respectively through September 30th. The salary expense report showed that the village currently has spent $394,912 more on salaries and benefits in '24 than in '23, and the percent increase over 2023 was 11%. We also reviewed detailed revenues and expenditures for the recreation department. We looked at the general fund, which showed revenue under expenditures by $263,644,000. Looked at the We Thrive Grant Fund, which showed revenues in excess of expenses, $12,236, and the pool levy fund was $2,449 revenues under expenditures. Yeah. Questions?
Any questions for Mr. Chris and
Yeah,
Finance?
I
Michelle?
do. For We Thrive, can you repeat that, what you said about We Thrive? Is that an over or under? 'Cause
That was over.
okay, it's over,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought I heard you said that
Yeah.
otherwise. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Lonnie.
All right.
Appreciate it. All right. Law Director's report?
Mayor.
Ms. Fitzgerald, we do need an approval of the, a motion needs to go on the floor for an approval of the receipt listing and payment listing and bank reconciliation.
I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the receipt listing, payment listing, and bank reconciliation.
Oh, second.
Motion been moved and properly second. All ayes?
Aye.
Very well, thank you. Law Director's report.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to introduce one of our associates from Strauss-Troy. Andrew White is here observing the meeting. He is very interested in becoming more active in our local government law practice. So
Good.
he's taking it all in.
All right.
Other than that, I just wanted to cover the legislation that we have on the agenda for this evening. The first item that council will have in front of them will be an ordinance to amend appropriations. This will increase the amount in several different funds in order for the village to meet its current expenses and expenditures. This is kind of a routine item that we do on a fairly regular basis. The next item will be a resolution that will extend the village's contract with SwimSafe for another year. The price is the same as it was this past year. So this item just extends it over an additional year and updates the dates for the contract. We will have a resolution that will authorize the village to offer a deferred comp option for our employees with a Roth 457 option. So it's no cost to the village. It will just add some additional options for the employees who are planning for their retirement. And then, as the mayor alluded to earlier in the evening, with our police cadet, we have a resolution that will formally approve the employment agreement with him that will allow the village to fund the academy training on a reimbursement basis and provide the terms of his employment. And then the final item is a resolution to authorize the manager to execute the necessary contracts for healthcare coverage for village employees, starting next month. Are there any questions about those things?
Right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I guess I could wait till we get ready to approve legislation, but I was gonna ask if we could table.
We've already tabled 29. I'm ahead of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
And then also, I had a question about SwimSafe, about the hours during the summer months and the weekend hours.
Sure.
And I think you said you could look into what that additional cost would be.
Yes.
So my question is, I see where it says if it's not done by the 31st, that quote lapse. How definite is that?
So we can ask them, so we can approve it and ask them to change the hours. It could be an additional $5,700.
How much?
$5,700.
Okay, but then again, that's only me asking. I don't
Right.
know how the rest of the council feels. The question I had was regarding the hours on during the summer months. On Saturdays, the weekends, they closing at 7. During the week, it's 8.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I understand, Tim told me that that's an upgrade, closing at 7, because they used to close at 5.
That is correct.
But
Yes.
my question is,
1-5.
you know,
5 o'clock.
do I ask that that be tabled for people to consider, or, because you said it's an
What do you
additional
So-
charge?
So we can still approve the contract as is, and then I can ask SwimSafe to change the hours, and I think that would just be an addendum.
We just do an addendum.
What are you proposing?
What,
But-
yeah, what, I'm not,
So the proposal is, do we want to increase the hours of operation on weekends?
Beyond 7?
Beyond the 7 o'clock timeframe. So we'd go from, instead of it closing at 7, we'd close at 8. The cost to do that would be an additional $5,700 of the contract. I think my statement when we discussed, when Rosemary and I were emailing about it, was that, we'd already changed the hours from 5 o'clock to 7. So we've added extra hours to it.
Yeah.
If that's something we felt strongly about, we can do that, but I would almost wait to, if that's something we want to look at again on the next contract, if we want to wait until the pool levy is up for renewal, if we want to add something in about that then,
Right.
I think that would also be appropriate. That, again, it's council's pleasure.
Okay.
I know during the week, they close at 8,
They do,
and it's at summertime,
yeah.
you know. Why shorten the hours during the weekend?
Yeah,
That's just
they
my
always
opinion.
were historically.
And then,
Historically, yes. The pool was always from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock for years. So this is an extension.
But her question is.
I see what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
But my other question becomes, is the attendance justifiable to keep that open till 8 o'clock on a Saturday and Sunday? And I don't think it is.
I just
She would
think-
be able to answer that. Go ahead,
One
Paula.
of the things I'd like for us to also consider that, when residents try to rent the pool, they can only rent it on the weekend, if they wanted something privately. And so if we close it at 8, that means essentially the party will go to like 9. Well, it goes about 11, because you give them like a 2.5 to 3
3
hours.
hours.
So, do we want to go that far? That's just something else to keep in mind, because during the
But-
weekday, you can only have parties while the pool is open.
Correct.
Have a private party.
Right.
Because
Right.
What are the
they
hours,
typically don't. And so
Okay.
you
what are the
could-
hours of the pool party that you,
They like
available?
they like to be done by 10 o'clock. If you close at 8, then you're looking at a 2-hour, party that can really start like at 8:30, just once you get everyone out and get things set up, or,
Yeah.
like an hour and a half
Right.
party.
Okay.
So then you're spending roughly, if you're a non-resident, you're spending close to $500 for an hour
Not
and a
working.
half.
Again,
If they go to 11, that's special time.
Right.
Okay.
all right. So again, I'm proposing that again, we move forward
I'm
on
good. I'm good with this.
moving on the legislation, and if we have any additional, then we can do an addendum, okay? All right.
Regarding the pool parties.
Okay.
So, no, I'm good.
All right. All right. Mayor's report. A couple things that I wanted to share. Continuing, every month I come in here, I talk about the safety. We talked about earlier in one of the reports that the lights have been installed at IDEA. I know that our police officers are up there as much as they can, but there's a lot of speeding going on Glendale Milford Road up there, so I'm again concerned about that. Have that conversation with the chief just to keep our eyes open on that, especially on the Chester Road side. But I'm seeing some speeding coming through there. And that again goes for throughout the village with the speeding wherever the children are here on Riddle Road or up on Glendale Milford Road. We just ask that we think about those precious babies out there, especially as the time change. Children will be on the bus stops, so let's be very cognitive about that. Because it's going to be dark out there and those students are going to be on the corner. So we need to be very careful when we're coming up and down these streets. So I'd like to mention that as well. The last thing that I have, I want to just briefly announce that our former mayor is being recognized from the Ohio Civil Rights Hall of Fame on this Thursday in Columbus. And I'm just going to read you the gist of this letter. This letter was written to Tracy Farley Artist. It says, congratulations. Recently, the Ohio Civil Rights Commission voted unanimously to induct Susan Upton Farley into the 2024 Ohio Civil Rights Hall of Fame's 15th class. The Civil Rights Hall of Fame seeks to acknowledge iconic Ohioans who are recognized as pioneers in human and civil rights and who have advanced the goals of equality and inclusion. Inductees of the Ohio Civil Rights Hall of Fame are individuals who have made significant contributions in support of civil rights, cultural awareness, and understanding and furtherance of a more just society. Susan Upton Farley's efforts were extraordinary contributions in the advancement of civil rights in the great state of Ohio. Her passion was commendable and will now be recognized. She will stand in history with a class of Ohio honorees such as Jesse Owens, Gloria Steinem, Bishop Timothy Clark, the Ohio Freedom Riders, Ohio Tuskegee Airmen, Reverend Dr. Otis Moss Jr., Joanne Davison, and Ada Beatty Jr., just to name a few. Again, this celebration is taking place on Thursday in the State House atrium this Thursday morning, I believe. Yes, it is the morning at 10 a.m., again at the State House atrium. There's a private ceremony that is a private reception for her family. They will take care. So I wanted to make the village aware that the legacy is still going on. So congratulations to Tracy Artis Farley and her family for accepting this prestigious award in the Hall of Fame in the Civil Rights. I just want to give a round of applause for that. I want the council to be aware of that as well. All right. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
No worries.
We had a guest who said she signed up to speak.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
Come. Sure. State your name for the clerk for her record. State your name and address, please.
My name is Kamisha Montgomery. My address is 1522 Elm Street, Cincinnati, 45202.
Welcome.
And I'm here to speak on behalf of the Civic Garden Center and the new garden over here in Woodlawn. And I just wanted to speak on my role and what we anticipate our participation being in the urban agriculture local scene here. My role is the Urban Agriculture Program Manager for the Civic Garden Center of Cincinnati. I manage and support over 60 community gardens in the greater Cincinnati area, which stems from Indiana, Cincinnati, and northern Kentucky. And we are currently engaging in trying to support the community garden here in Woodlawn. We've worked with Ms. Wagner, and we've worked with Coffee as far as trying to support the efforts in local food access here in Woodlawn. And we'll like to, just try to increase engagement here in Woodlawn. We have trainings to teach people because everyone wants to have access to local food. But we also know that the barrier sometimes is education. And so we do offer trainings as far as trying to educate people on what to grow, when to grow, and how to grow to make it easier for people to have that nutritional benefits that come from growing your own food. And I've visited the current site, and I do know that there is a project in the future for a new site next to the current site. So I do want to let you all know that the garden has the support of the Civic Garden Center and all of our collaborations throughout the Cincinnati area with other organizations to make sure that it is and will be a thriving community garden. And like I said, that goes into resources such as free seeds, free plants, free education, and also other collaborations that we have with other organizations as far as maintenance of the site. So I just wanted to come here and express all of those things, and hopefully we can work together to make sure that we see this through, because a lot of times gardens are built but not maintained, and that's one of the things that we make sure, or try to make sure, that through education and empowering people with their education, that they can also come out and participate, because you can plant the seed, and if you don't water the seed and maintain the area, then other things will grow. Gotcha. And that is, and when you empower a community, then that is also helping maintain the space and keeping the beautification aspect of the space together, so that there's no complaints and there's more people participating. So.
We're excited about that. I know that we call it the Mary Wagner's Garden. That's what we've named that here in the village of Woodlawn. Mary has been a big champion of the We Thrive initiative since its inception, and so we give her that honor because she has worked and worked and worked. So we're gonna get bigger and bigger this year, come the spring, and so excited about that. Are these are we working with We Thrive on these initiatives, right? Correct? Okay, good job.
Yes, working with Ms. Wagner and also Ms.
Coffee
Sherman.
and Ms. Sherman? Okay,
Yes.
good job.
I've done classes at the rec center to already
Good.
introduce healthy food
Good.
options
Okay.
to the participants of the
Okay.
class. One of the things that was mentioned earlier, which could be a benefit to the garden, is the leaf and the wood chips would be a very good benefit to the community garden as far as, yeah, and composting efforts. We have worked with the city of Cincinnati, which has a USDA grant for composting efforts within the Hamilton County area. And those would be very beneficial in this effort. We will supply all of the other materials, but as far as the wood chips, leaves, that would be something that we would like to have to make sure that, you know, the composting efforts are a barrier that the community garden does not have, or the village of Woodlawn does not have to endure.
Okay.
Tim,
Michelle,
can we, oh,
Michelle, did somebody, I
I
seen a
did
hand.
have a question, but you pretty much answered it, how the training, where will it take place? But then you said you were gonna collaborate with Ms. Paula, and it seems like you have all that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just
so,
wanted to make sure our residents will know when that's taking place, so they can,
Okay.
of course, the information
Take
can
him,
be rolled
take you
down
down.
to them, so they can be
Good.
involved in those efforts.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. We have a training that's centralized in Cincinnati at the Civic Garden Center, which is in the Avondale community near UC Hospital. And so that's where the training takes place. It's an 11-week training, and I can provide you with more information afterwards.
Okay.
Michelle?
yeah, so Tim, first of all, can we look into composting or utilizing the grant money? So we can, I don't know if it's gonna go through the tree program, so we can get composting bins for the residents?
So we can look into it. I believe Hamilton County Resource had a program like that, and I'll keep up with them to see when that program comes around again. But in terms of just composting for the village as a whole, I know Ms. Banks was trying to prepare an area of the public works yard to compost the leaves and brush that she picks up. I know some of our neighboring communities may also have an opportunity for that as well. So we're still working towards that.
So Kamisha, there's an urban farm, there are several urban farms around the area, and I visited one called Tecan Farms with Paula, and they shared that there are some free mulch that you can have dropped off.
Yes, yes, there's, Springfield Township has a free compost pickup once a year. But as far as like the community compost, like the municipal manager touched on, that's more of a county effort as far as community composting. But as far as for the garden, that is, we're focused more on just a one-time fill, which is a specific method of composting, so that it's not as labor-intensive on the participant. So it's more of basically diverting waste material from the landfill. So there's already methods and organizations that are participating within the USDA grant to collect waste or food waste from restaurants, hospitals, retirement homes, and recreation centers, to divert that waste. And since we have a very large footprint as far as community gardens in the greater Cincinnati area, then we are the resource and the sites for this waste to be put into the bioreactor, which is, I know the term bioreactor sounds a little aggressive, but it's not as aggressive as it may seem. It's not like a 3-bin composting system where it's very labor intensive to go from one bin to the other to get the final product. So it's more of a one-time fill. They open it, the gardeners can open it a year later when it's already reached the temperatures where it's not It's not affecting the good microbes. It can get very scientific, but
Where
Okay.
would it be located?
it can be located at the garden. It's
So
not,
who would maintain it?
well, that's the thing about it. It's not a maintenance issue. It's not something that needs to be maintained. And that's the good thing about
Wow.
this composting system.
Wow.
It's not a 3-bin system to where it can cause rodents and go anaerobic and the
Right.
smell and everything
Wow.
like that.
Okay.
That's great.
Well, we'll be excited to hear more information. I know that we see a lot of your information down at the Recreation Center. So again, as Ms. Fitzgerald suggested, that we, try to get our residents involved as much as possible. But good information, we so appreciate that tonight. Thank you so much.
I
Yes.
do have a question for Ms. Sherman about this. Are we able to advertise to the residents early and often about this? Like, does We Thrive have the support they need to advertise it? I don't know, social media?
Question you'll probably need to talk to Ms. Wagner about in coffee, because their roles, especially Coffee's role that she has, is one that does a lot of the advertising for We Thrive in this initiative. But if it's just something simple as putting out a flyer, I mean, you know what our marketing resources
Yeah.
are as of now, so I think you can probably answer that question yourself.
Yeah.
But we can definitely put together, a flyer, just put it out. But we can go into our newsletter that's coming up.
Okay.
That would be one way
Okay.
to do that. Put it
Okay.
on the website.
Good.
Our typical.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. One thing that I forgot to do, Michelle, I sent you a little blurb. I need that. I need that.
Okay. You want the paper or?
I need a
Okay.
motion.
So, I'd like to make a motion to approve the mayor's monthly statement
in the
for
amount of.
$29,615.
I'll second it.
Motion been moved and properly second. All ayes?
Aye.
Very well, thank you. Thank you, Michelle. All right, legislation, please?
Yes, the first item is ordinance 30, 2024, an ordinance amending appropriations for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024.
I need a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance number 30, 2024.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance number 30, 2024.
I'll second it.
Motion been moved and properly second. Roll call on the suspension, please.
Esther Boyd,
Aye.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald, Robert Lawson, Michelle Starr.
Aye.
I need a motion for passage of ordinance number 30-2024.
I'll make a motion for passage for ordinance number 30, 2024.
I'll second.
Motion been moved and properly second. Roll call on the passage, please.
Esther Boyd,
Aye.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson, Michelle Starr.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Next item is resolution number 36, 2024, a resolution authorizing the municipal manager to execute an addendum to the agreement with Swim Safe Pool Management for swimming pool management services.
I need a motion for passage of resolution number 36, 2024.
I'll make a motion for passage for resolution number 36, 2024.
I'll second.
second.
Motion been moved and properly second. Roll call on the passage, please.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson, Michelle Starr,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Aye.
Next item is resolution 37, 2024, a resolution authorizing the municipal manager to execute an employer adoption agreement with the Ohio Public Employees Deferred Compensation Board to offer a Roth 457 option to the Village of Woodlawn employees.
I need a motion for passage of resolution number 37, 2024.
I'll make a motion for passage for resolution number 37, 2024.
I'll second it.
Motion been moved and properly second. Roll call on the passage, please.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Michelle Starr,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Aye.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Next item is resolution number 38, 2024, a resolution approving a conditional offer of employment and sponsored training agreement between the Village of Woodlawn and Benjamin Dickard.
I need a motion for passage of resolution number 38, 2024.
I'll make a motion for passage of resolution number 38-2024.
I'll second.
Motion been moved and properly second. Roll call on the passage, please.
Barbara Lawson,
Aye.
Michelle Starr,
Aye.
Lester Boyd, Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Emma Fitzgerald.
Aye.
And the last item is Resolution 39, 2024, a resolution authorizing the municipal manager to enter into a contract for health care coverage for eligible employees through Sidecar Health and setting the percentage split of the cost between the village and employees for such coverage.
I need a motion for passage of resolution number 39, 2024.
Motion for passage of resolution number 39, 2024.
I'll second.
Motion been moved and properly second. Roll call on the passage, please.
Michelle Starr,
Aye.
Lester Boyd, Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Emma Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Barbara Lawson.
Aye.
All right. Let's sign this one. All right. Is there any new business that comes before this council? Having none, I need a motion for adjournment.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn today's.
Motion been moved and properly second. All ayes?
Aye.
Very well. Great meeting, team. Enjoy the rest of your evening.